Who are you?
Hey, my name is Bryant Newell, and I'm the pastor at North Jackson Baptist Church.
How long have you been in your position?
I have been pastor at North Jackson for almost 5 years.
What is your favorite thing to do in your position?
My favorite thing to do as pastor of North Jackson Baptist Church is to just be able to see people grow in the Lord, to see them take their next step.
What is your favorite thing about Sunday mornings?
No, man. Sunday mornings, there's so much that I love. I love getting here in the morning. I love seeing people come through the doors excited to be here. I love listening to the music that has been prepared each week. I love delivering the sermon. But ultimately, if I'm going to say my favorite thing, it's just to be able to worship with people that I know and love.
So, with that being said, what is your favorite thing about our church?
The people. I love the people. The people are very supportive. They're very loving. They're very willing to work for the Lord. And I'm excited that they're also have an interest in just seeing this church furthered. And hopefully, we will continue to follow under the leadership of the Lord and see things done in His ways and in His image.
So, being the pastor of our church, we know you probably have a few different favorites. So,
Okay.
what is your favorite Bible verse?
My favorite Bible verse has always been one in Romans chapter 12, verse 21. Be not overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Because we live in a world that we know there is sin and there is evilness around us, but there's that encouragement to not let that overtake us. And that one way to ensure that is to make sure that we're doing good, we're doing the good things of God.
So, what is your favorite Bible story?
My favorite Bible story, it's not so much a story that you would read on a Sunday school lesson or anything like that, but one of my favorite instances in the Bible is when God is speaking to Solomon and he is talking to him, and he tells Solomon, he says that if you will honor me as your father David did. And when we consider the story of David, we look at his life and we see some not so great things that David did, yet God still held David in high regard. So, what that tells me is that even when we make mistakes, even when we mess up, we cannot be too far from God. We can always come back to Him. He will always love us and always welcome us with open arms.
So that is your favorite Bible story, but who is your favorite biblical person?
My favorite biblical person, it would be easy to say Jesus because, of course, Jesus is the center of everything that we do. But one time someone posed a question to me and said, if you couldn't use Jesus, what person in the Bible would you try to use to explain to someone what it means to be a follower of God? And my answer for that is Joseph from the Old Testament, because when we look at Joseph in the Old Testament, he went through many setbacks that were not his fault. He went through many different detours along the way. He fell into some really hard stuff, and it would have been easy for him to quit. Yet he went through it all, was put in a high position, and then even at the end of it, his enemies that should have been his enemies, his brothers that sold him in slavery, came up to him and basically said that they would be his slaves. And instead of doing that to them, he says the words, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. And he always had that outlook that he was going to follow the Lord no matter what his life circumstances were.
You told us earlier that you love listening to the music that is prepared on Sunday mornings. So tell us, what is your favorite hymn?
I have two favorite hymns. My first one is one that everybody knows and loves, and that's "It Is Well." It's a great hymn, but I would be remiss to not mention another favorite hymn of mine, which is "Victory in Jesus," because growing up at Bethel Baptist Church number 2, every single Sunday morning, our music director, Burtis McNutt, the first song we would sing would be in the Baptist hymnal number 120, Victory in Jesus, every single morning. And I love that hymn.
So, to end this 10-question interview, what is a fun fact about you?
Ooh, a fun fact about me. Well, when I'm not here and when I'm not at my other job working or at home doing family things, I love to play basketball. I try to play a few times a week, and you would be surprised to know that I'm actually fairly decent at basketball. I don't look like much, but if you get me out on the court, I'm going to surprise you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for these 10 questions, Pastor Bryant.
Thank you, guys.